There's an old trucker saying about women. It said that a woman will climb a 10-foot high barbed wire fence and crawl through a mile of cactus to start a fight rather than look you in the eye to solve a problem. That's very true for women in general, and it's doubly true for black women. Triply true for the black American woman. They are more intent on shaming and starting fights rather than reaching across the aisle, reaching across the sexual divide, holding hands and solving a problem. That's been the case for 50 years. Now, during the civil rights era, they looked across the sexual divide, they held hands with their man, looked him in the eye and said, let's go solve this problem. And they did it. Since then, they've done the exact opposite. What have we heard for the last 50 years? Black man don't take care of his family. Black man abandons the black woman. Black man don't do shit. The black man doesn't build. You've heard nothing but negative things, shaming tactics. And now, recently, the gender war that's raged on social media because black men have complaints of their own. And rather than women reaching across the aisle, looking that black man in the eye and asking, how can we solve this? They rather nitpick and start fights. All this comes up from a YouTuber, a black female YouTuber called Sweet Speaks, so-called going in on MGTOW, and not just MGTOW, but black MGTOW. Now, it doesn't matter that for the most part, and I would say like 99% of MGTOW and black MGTOW don't really engage with black women, especially on social media. And I would say 90% of black MGTOW talk about women in general and not necessarily to bash them personally, but just to talk about the experience that they have with them and the trials and tribulations that they've gone through in relationship. And it should be seen as something that black men and men in general talk about, not necessarily to degrade women, but to heal ourselves. And it's not necessarily about individual women, even though when we talk about them, we seek to understand what they do and why they do it, but about the system that surrounds it and allows women, as we call it, gynocentrism, the system that allows women to do what they do at the expense of men. And MGTOW is to inform and to warn men about this system, about women in this system, and how best to navigate through it. So what do women do? Do they comment on the video? No. They did talk about what's going on in the video? No. They talk about their feelings. They start fights in the comment section. And that's what they take away from it. Every woman that I've come across going into a MGTOW section it talks about what's going on in the comment section and not what's going on in the video. You have 100,000 MGTOW videos, and what do they talk about? They talk about what's going on in the comment section. The same thing with Miss Sweet Speaks and her Woman versus MGTOW channel. She talks about what goes on in the comment section. Her videos are there to incite a fight because that's what black women do. They crawl over a barbed wire fence and crawl through the cactus, which is the comment section, to start a fight, rather than going on to that person's video. And most of these guys have channels. Look that man in the eye across the digital divide and solve the problem. That's what she's done on her videos, and that's what she's done to the people that have replied to her. Now, there's been a few people that have replied to her in video form. Has she had response videos going back and forth to solve the problem? No. She goes in the comment section to find out whatever slight or slur that goes on there and starts more fights from there, starts more dissension and more arguments from there. Now, through my IBMOR channel, I've heard several IBMOR men talk about Miss Sweet Speak, so I wandered onto her channel to see what was up. And 90% of it is the same old, same old. This bashing that goes back and forth in this gender war that's been going on for the past 5 or 6 years, hurling slurs and insults back and forth between black men and black women. And for the most part, that is the focus. And their main disagreement is not even with red pill guys. Their main focus is because of Tommy Sotomayor and what Tommy Sotomayor says about them. And they project that out onto every other black men on social media. Now, my particular experience with her, I've commented on a few of her videos. In one such video with her Woman versus MGTOW channel, they had a long discussion, a long back and forth with her and some of her subscribers. And after a couple of days of going back and forth with them, insults being hurled back and forth, which is the usual thing that goes on, which black women actually love. They love crawling through the cactus, which is the comment section, and starting a fight. Even after you leave the comment section and you close it out, that fight still goes on because they draw more people into it just to fuel that fire that keeps going on and on and on and on. I even invited Miss Sweet Speaks and her subscribers that if they thought what was accurate about me that they were commenting on, because they were making allegations and hurling slurs, and I told them, you can simply go to my channel that's full of videos and see what quality of work that I do, what an actual black MGTOW actually talks about, and the subjects that we broach. And evidently, Miss Sweet Speaks took me up on that. She went to my channel, she investigated it, and what did she do? Did she look me in the eye and did she look me in the eye, either make a response video or comment on any one of my videos? No. She went to the section of people that I'm subscribed to, and she picked out one of my subscriptions, one of the people that I follow, which is Black Ram 313. And out of all the videos that he's done, and he's done hundreds of videos, lengthy videos, and she picked out one which is called All Women Are Whores. Now, did he specifically say black women? No. He talked about his opinion about women in general, the modern woman in general, and how they were, and what his response to them was. She never commented on one video that I put up. She never had a response to one video that I put up. She crawled over the barbed wire fence to people that I'm subscribed to. She picked out one person and one video to start a fight. Now, did she go to that man's video in the comment section, which he doesn't block anybody, male or female, and comment on his video? No, she didn't look him in the eye and do that. She brought his video back, that particular one back, put it up, knowing that the Sisterhood of Failure was going to get upset, talked about how she felt about it. And then what did she do? She went to her other channel to bring more of the Sisterhood of Failure into it so that more women can get upset and start fights. Now, did she ask the man, Black Ram, why he felt that way? No, she didn't. Did she dialogue with the man? No, she didn't. Did she dialogue with me since she went through me to get to him? No, she didn't. Is she accurate about calling Black Ram a MGTOW? Now, Black Ram does follow the MGTOW philosophy, but he's never ever claimed to be a MGTOW. Black Ram is a Hebrew Israelite. Black Ram is an IBMOR man. He's never claimed to be a black MGTOW. So she puts a black MGTOW label on him, makes up whatever she needs to make up, and she projects that out onto black MGTOWs. These are what black MGTOWs are like. Even though he's one man that's never claimed to be MGTOW, tells you exactly who he is, what he is, and how he feels. He's never been shy, never sugarcoated his language about what he feels about women, a woman's place, and how he feels that the world should be run, and why he thinks the world should be run that way. Black women claim that they're strong black women, that they're independent black women. Black women are cowards. They're moral and intellectual cowards, because black MGTOW and black IBMOR men, no matter what they say or anything they say negative about women, at the end of the day, the bottom line is, the moral of the story is, what we tell black men, whether it's MGTOW or IBMOR, is that black man, white man, Asian man, the buck stops with you. Self-responsibility is at the heart and the key of any of these philosophies, which is something women can't and won't do. MGTOW, IBMOR, even Hebrew Israelites saying that what a woman does and how she does it should be immaterial to what you do and how you live your life. Self-responsibility is always preached in MGTOW. Self-responsibility is always preached in IBMOR. Self-responsibility for men is always preached amongst Hebrew Israelites. That is always key, and that's something that black women and women in general can't and won't see, because they can't look themselves in the eye. They can't go to that mirror, look themselves in the eye, and solve the problem. They're too focused on looking for fences and cactus to crawl through to start a fight. Sweet Speaks and her channels and others that are like it exemplify exactly what I'm talking about. There's nothing on their channels that talk about solving problems. There's nothing on their channels that talk about understanding. Their whole channel is focused on how to get black men to solve their problem. It's never what they're doing. It's never what they could do better. It's never going to the sisterhood and saying that we need to sit down and do a gut check. It's never that it starts with me. That's the sisterhood of failure. That's what's going on in America, and that's what's going on in the black community. Black women doubling down on a failed policy. And most black men like me are absolutely shaking our heads in bewilderment of the absolute lunacy and stupidity that these women exhibit on a daily basis. And unfortunately, these are the people that are in control of the community. As much as black men hate to admit it, feminism and the gynocentric policies in the United States have given the keys to our community to these quasi-adults. They can't take responsibility for themselves. They can't admit when they're wrong. Can't huddle together and figure out how they're going to do something different to make things better. They keep doubling down on failure. The black community has gone from a brotherhood, a cooperation, and firmly sits in the sisterhood of failure. That's all I got to say for now. There's more coming.